inadvertently I came across the most important part of your character build in this game. Now, here's the moment, little past the main moment, where I was like, what the? That I was told of this by the wonderful fat Steve. Here's the moment. I have not done any of this stuff at all, not once. What the? Hang on. When did it teach me to put the left stick into do this? Hang on. Hang on. Available Lumina points, 40. What?
Oh my god, 40! 40!
Oh, I must be doing really well then.
Do you know what that means? You can put on 10 additional items.
Oh, fucking 10 picked it. I can add 10 passive things. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god, I did not know this existed. I mean, like, I kept putting these blue things on. What are they doing? Are they just adding to like some base stats or something like that?
Yeah. See, you were like, what does this do? But I actually read I was like, what the fuck are these blue things? And then I read it, and then I looked at the screen, and I went, oh, left stick, click, luminous. It said 0 of 5 or something. When, I literally did it at level 2.
Oh, I'm level 21 at the moment. That's shocking. Oh, yeah. I can't handle it.
So basically, you equip like 10s and 7s and whatever the fuck, and then you put in shitloads of 1s and 3s and you can put in 20.
Wow.
Like, you're gonna be OP as shit now. Aren't I just the best?
Yes, that's changed my whole game. Now I will probably... No wonder, something in these enemies are really spongy. They're taking all my damage.
Funny.
Tiny little damage. Funny. That's nuts.
Wow. Yeah, because you can put for example, my Gustav is my gunner.
Yeah, of course.
So he's my free aimer, free aim marker, free aim burner.
Burner, heal himself.
If you shoot, it increases base attack.
And heals you.
Do base attack 50%. I've got like seven things on him.
I've got
right now.
Just 3.
You've got fuck all on him.
So this NPC character is very early at the start. Now, if you've not met the NPC character that allows you to upgrade your weapons, put this video into your watch later, and the moment you meet them, you come back to this video and press play. If you've already met that character that allows you to upgrade your weapons, etc., then keep watching. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to click off this if you have not met them yet. 3, 4. So here is the most important part. We have our character screen here. On the left, we see the weapons. So your weapon obviously can be switched out as you find them. And also pay attention to the passives that your weapon has. And that can be upgraded. Your weapon can be upgraded through the curator. Top right, we have the combat stats. So these are the point attributes that you give to your character. So say, for example, you put points into defense, and then that will change this part. Then we have the weapon section over here, right? Then we have the wardrobe. At the middle bottom, we have the skills. So these are the ones you unlock in the skill tree that you can do at the campsite or at the flag. Then we have the pictos. So when we start the game, we'll have 3 slots available, and you'll and ah about which one suits your character the most, right? So just ignore what I've got there for the moment. Then over here we have the luminous, and when we start the game, this is not a main focus, it's not a main feature, it's sort of sitting there. And the thing is that it mirrors what the first 3 pictos is. So the empowering tint, we can see it there, same. So you don't go, oh, we don't see empty slots over here because they're already filled with the first 3 pictos. But there's a whole bunch of passive pictos waiting for you to unlock. And the way you unlock that is with the luminous and the points, the blue points that you put into a character. So you could put all your points into one character to get them, all the passives basically. Or you could spread them out across multiple characters, which is what I would recommend doing. So let's have a look at this in action. So walk up to the curator and then we'll choose the upgrade expedition resources. And here we have these upgrade tints. So these are your little flasks that you have in the game, the items that you can use, whether it be healing or whether it be giving action points to yourself or other people in the party or reviving, right? So you'll get these as you go along. They're amazing. Here are the most important parts, right? So I've cut out a lot of potential. It's not, they are spoilers to me. Most people would already know what some of these things are that I've hidden, but I just want to give everybody the best experience, so I'm covering them all up. So we've got Loon here, and she's got 36 points into her luminous pool, basically. So when we go into her scene here, we're going to click on Pictos, right? So we'll go into our Pictos menu. And these are all the ones that you would have gone, which one do I want to have? Okay, let me go through these. But when you put your left stick in, it'll bring up the ones for your luminous. So we can see that pool, the blue pool number of 36 at the bottom. And once we start choosing the other Pictos, so the ones that are in maroon right now are our main three. We can change them anytime. And the important part of this one is that we can see that the longer shell is worth 10. That's its value, it's 10. So if we didn't put that in our main Picto slot and we used it through this menu, it would take 10 points off that pool, right? So it's smarter to put the ones that are worth more in your main three slots. So we've got 36 Pictos, points to spend, basically. You can call them Lumina points or whatever. So here we have, let's have a look. This is really nice. So augmented counter 1. So we use this one. It's only worth 3. It takes us down to a pool now of 33 Pictos Lumina points. And then we pick the next one. Now, it depends on if you do free aiming shots, which you probably will do very early on especially, but maybe through the whole game. This one is a lovely one, the critical moment. It's worth 5. So 50% increased critical chance if health is below 30%. So this is a really clutch item. And all the characters can have this as their sort of bonus Pictos. That's why I say it's important, I think, to spread those blue Lumina numbers across the party. So the next one we will have is, let's have a look, 25% increased break damage. So it depends on your party makeup. If you're perpetually breaking the enemies, then that's a really nice one. If you're not using that, then you probably don't need it. Then we sort of go to this one, right? Dead Energy 2. 3 action points on killing an enemy. What a bonus. Like, it's just sitting in the background. So try and have a look at the low number 1 so you can have more, unless it's something you really want. So Dodger is an amazing one. Gain 1 action point on perfect dodge. So it's just there in the background. So sometimes you might come across a boss that has like a big combo. Say it's got like at least 5. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a good chance that I might not be able to parry all these. It might be safer if I dodge them. And getting the perfect dodge will give you 1 extra, bonus action point, which is not too bad for, something just sitting in the background. So we've got 1 action point on battle start. See, that's worth 10. So you sort of have to go, is there a character that costs, I'm always just 1 shy of being able to cast this skill? Then consider putting that as their main Pictos spot, right? Because it takes up 10. It's a lot. SOS Shell. Apply Shell when falling below 50% health. So everybody can have a great time with the SOS Shell. So we're down to 20 points now. The staggering attack. So 50% increased break damage on a base attack. So it promotes you being a little bit more varietal with your attacks. It's not just the same skills over and over again. You think, okay, well, if I do a base attack now, it might be a good time to do it, especially if things are like enemies are marked and then there's burn on mark and all those sort of things that sort of stack all over the place. So here we've got 20% chance to apply mark on free aim shot. So you may as well, if you've got a character that you like to just use free aim shot on, then that's absolutely a no-brainer to put it on that one. Versatile. After free aim hit, there's another free aim one. 2 action points on dealing damage to a marked target. Bang. Because somebody's going to mark it. Somebody's going to mark the target, having all these passive spots on there. Then we have this critical chance while fighting alone. These are really interesting ones. I don't want to... it's a little bit difficult because the party that you have... I'm not going to, because you might be still a bit early in the game, but let's just say you might need this. You might look at that and go, what the hell? Just consider that for later on. Yeah, because at the start when you see these when fighting alone, you think, what the hell is this? But there are certain situations where that will come in very handy, and just remember where it is. Ignore the banging. That is the wind blowing my blinds. So here we go. 3 action points on breaking a target, right? So, for example, one of the other characters does breaking a lot. So if they're doing all the breaking, that's a nice one to have on their sort of bonus lumina pick those items. Healing tints also remove status effects from the target. So that's 5. Breaker, 25 increased break damage. That's a nice one to have. But it's 10, so now we're sucked down to only 4 points left. And then we have, again, 50% increased free aim damage. So if you're sort of, down on your luck and you've only got 1 action point left, then this one's a really nice one because you know that a sort of free aim will be bang, and you could just add those free aim ones onto your bonus pick those and get rid of some of the other ones, depending on how you play. That's really what it depends on, is how you play, your play style and how your team is made up. So when we go over to the Luminous menu here, we can click on that. And that also takes us straight to those passives, those bonus luminas. But like I said, when you're early on in the game, you're not focusing on those blue numbers. And by the time you do, you think, okay, well, I'll put points into them. It's whatever. And often you sort of think that games will sort of look after you to some degree where you don't need to worry about that too much. But these things are so important. It's very similar to the Warframe, like I said before. I think those Warframe, how you set up your Warframe characters. I forget what they're called, those little things. They're a little bit more difficult. I love those things, as much as I don't even know the name of them. But reading all those abilities that they have and then upgrading them and changing their polarities, and that's just right up my alley. I love that. So this is sort of a more simplistic version, but I think it's very fun. And I think you'll have an amazing time with that, especially if you love, perfecting a team. And this has just made my game, 1,000% more exciting to me. And probably easier too, a lot more easier. So let us celebrate that one. And that is how you use your blue points. And I hope you found that helpful. Maybe you already knew everything, I don't know. But at least it'll help someone out there who didn't read like I did.